Let's just end with Tottenham here. As we've been talking about Pochettino, was he ever an option ever for Tottenham this time round, Jack?
No, I don't. I don't get the impression that, for all, as much as the fans wanted it to happen, I I'm not aware of there being any contact from Daniel Levy to Pochettino about the job. I don't think he was ever in Daniel Levy's thinking. I don't think he was ever a serious candidate this time around. And that means that I think there is more pressure on Daniel Levy to get the next Tottenham appointment right, because whatever it is, some people would say, well, Pochettino was right there. Pochettino's been he was sacked by PSG about a year ago, or just less than a year ago. So he's had a year, sitting around at home, and the phone calls never come in. So I do think it adds to the pressure on Levy, because Tottenham fans are very hurt by this. They're not happy with. Then a lot of them are not happy with Pochettino because of the rivalry between Chelsea and Tottenham, but a lot of them are very unhappy with Daniel Levy for allowing this to happen.
But I sort of get that towards Pochettino, but at the same time, if you just try and take the love of your club out of it, that any of us have for our clubs, he, as we've said before, Jack, he couldn't sit around waiting all day for a job to come up or for Tottenham to ring.
No, I quite agree. I don't think it was. I know that Spurs fans are hurt, and I can totally understand why.
Equally, there aren't that many jobs about at the moment.
No, there's not. Level. Like if you want to work at the top level of football, which he does, then you don't have a totally free choice. There's not that many jobs. They're not all up at the same time. It's a matter of timing, and I think maybe hypothetically, if Real Madrid had been open this year, he might well have wanted to go and do that, but it wasn't. And so I don't think I think it's a bit unfair on Pochettino to be too critical when he wants to work. He wants to work, and this was the job that was on offer at this point.
Is the pressure doubled because Nagelsmann was available as well, and now they apparently aren't interested in him as well? So that's two high-profile, out-of-work managers that they've gone, not for us.
Yeah, I think the Nagelsmann news from Friday also makes it a bit harder. I think if you read Tottenham fans on social media, most fans are not buying the idea that Tottenham decided, 48 days, whatever it was, into their managerial search to say, oh, actually, Nagelsmann, no, not for us. Clearly, Nagelsmann was a contender. He was a candidate. He was on the short list. Clearly, there will have been contact. Clearly, Tottenham were very interested in him, or otherwise he wouldn't have been on the shortlist. There wouldn't have been talks. Now, obviously, in any breakup, each party wants to claim to be the one that pulled the plug. I don't know specifically what transpired between Tottenham and Nagelsmann's camp last week that led to this breakdown in talks, but the idea that Tottenham just decided, independently, unilaterally, and one-sidedly to say, oh, actually, we are going to pull out of this, and they're kind of jilt Nagelsmann at the altar. Not a lot of people will believe that.
Where are they at then? Where are they at with this managerial search?
Well,
they're pull a rabbit out of a hat here.
Well, so they're moving towards doing the interviews this month. The candidates, I think, we're looking at Roberto De Zerbi, Arne Slot, Ruben Amorim, Xabi Alonso, maybe Ange Postecoglou at Celtic. So these are good managers.
Rodgers,
I think all. I'd be a bit surprised, but then at this point, I think it feels like a really open field to me right now. Like it feels like nothing could come up that would be that surprising after everything we've seen with Tottenham in the past and the Nuno summer and all that. I don't think Rodgers would be at the top of their thinking ideally, but it could happen. But no, I think all these candidates are good candidates, and I think if Tottenham get one of them, they will have got a good manager for next season who fits what they want. But I think the issue is there's a difference between the outcome and the process. And so even though I think it looks at the moment like they probably will end up with a perfectly good outcome, the fact is that lots of fans don't trust the process because they don't trust the people running the process. And fans think, the people running Tottenham have surrendered all benefit of the doubt on this now.